Okay, hey everybody, this is GeoWill from FM Productions Squared, and we're back to do another reaction for Season 4 of Man in the High Castle. We're doing Episode 4 tonight. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And actually, before that, let's recap what's happened in the last episode. So in Episode 3, the BLR has pulled off this assassination plot against a bunch of high-ranking Japanese officials. They didn't get Kido, though. Kido wasn't there for reasons that we'll discuss. But they managed to do this. They, as you know, they went in as pretending to be the caterers for the event that Children was holding. And they went in and shot up the place, killed all the targets they wanted to kill, except for, again, Kido. And got out, and most, I won't say everyone, or most, many survived. Many of them survived, but not everybody. There were a couple deaths. Children did get captured, and he pleaded for his life by saying he can get them an audience with the queen, the Imperial Queen, Imperial Princess, rather, I should say. For Kido's part, though, he had this whole sub-story with his son. They kind of played on his son's trauma and his PTSD and whatnot for that he gained through what he did during the war. Anytime he'd look at his medals, he'd like basically have panic attacks and start remembering the shit he did in the past. And it kind of came to a head. He went into this Yakuza bar and basically beat the hell out of a guy and killed him. And the Yakuza, realizing that he was a hero, I forgot the exact name, maybe I'll edit it into the video, let's say when I'm editing it, that they called him, and realized he was Kido's son. They decided not to kill him, and they were just like holding him until the message got to Kido, and Kido arrived to do whatever. Should plug this in. So Kido takes them back to their house, and they have this discussion at the end of which Kido kicks him out after his son kind of claims that he's been dishonorable or whatever. So he kicks him out. Oh crap, I wanted to look up real quick. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted here. I just want to check out something really quick. Alright, so just checking on one thing real quick. I'll cut that section out of editing, during editing. Anyway, so he kicks him out of the house and whatnot. So the other thing that happens is that Helen comes back to Smith in New York for her kids, because the older sister, I forget her name now, called her and was like complaining that she didn't feel like she belonged there anymore, and because of their exposure to information that started to deprogram her while they were in the neutral zone, she's realizing how much propaganda and bullcrap is going on in the Reich, and she doesn't feel like she belongs there anymore. So she calls her mom because her sister threatens to turn her into the authorities for listening to some like swing music or something, which is apparently banned in the Reich. And after John has a talk with her later that night, she calls her mother and does all that stuff. So Helen comes back. Her and Smith kind of trying to work out what their rules are going to be, because obviously they're not a family unit anymore, to use Smith's words, paraphrasing him. And then we have this whole thing where they're going to be having Himmler over for dinner. That's going to be this episode. So that's the state of things. Oh, and Juliana's still exploring the whole kind of one thing, exploring the whole kind of meditative space kind of thing that she found before in the previous episode. Still exploring that. And also, the John Smith in the other reality has been killed by Nazis. So, there you go. Those are the main events that happened. So, let's go ahead and get this going. Happy Trails is the name of this episode.
Isn't it weird when you're away from home, you start missing the little things you never really thought about?
Okay. Tales from the High Castle. Interesting opening.
Maybe it's about that raise I grew.
Yeah, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it.
But the America Robert Street has just stepped into is very different.
What the f... This must be some Nazi propaganda.
Robert Street.
I know him from somewhere.
Of my
Is it actually him?
Hawthorne, you want your out with your wife, right?
Yeah, that is him, isn't it? They've cleaned him up a bit, though. And it looks like he's lost some weight.
Roll it.
Interesting. I'd forgotten that they had captured him. I think that was in season 3. Oh, okay, yeah. Duh. Forgotten what time period this is supposed to be in. Whoa, did she really... She just pull a Takomi? Is she actually back in the proper timeline now? Well, it looks like she could be. Everything's blown to hell. But it could be a different alternate reality, too. She didn't wipe off the doorknob. I think she's definitely back in the show's timeline now. Realizes she screwed up. It's like, oh damn it. Thing's probably worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars.
I was raised in the mountains in Bavaria.
So this guy's Smith's old rank.
I suppose you could say I've detained it long enough, John.
Smith's
Look
like...
forward to our dinner tonight.
Smith had the look on his face like, don't make me throw you off of this building, Sonny. Heck, that's gonna help him.
Awfully hard to concentrate with a gun pointed at my head.
Look, what's it say?
You read Japanese?
Fucking thing.
Now you got bigger guns pointed at your face. Good work, children.
About you, Morning, sir. John Smith.
What happened, Campbell?
I killed you.
He died, sir.
You killed him?
I think the wheels are turning. John's realizing I can go there.
Okay?
I think
His
anyway.
wife is down in the lobby.
Maybe he's realizing that he's not so invincible after all. Some low-level Nazi capped him off. Well, knifed him. That was like the 13th circle of hell right there. Alan's like, damn it. Ha, plausible deniability. Why do I feel that guy's getting set up for? So they had Keto open up a file on him, so now he's being surveilled. Now they're saying that now they're giving him this task to contact the BCR and set up this meeting and go to it or whatever. Feels like they're just setting him up for something. Oh well, this guy. And they call it District of Contamination because
Yes, sir.
it's been nuked, or because it's their acronym for DC. District of Contamination. Awesome. Keto's about to do the Keto. Oh shit. I knew it. Now is Keto bullshitting him, or is it actually the case? So now Keto knows that
Thank you.
there's a conspiracy within the Kinpatai and the military of Japan.
I promise to be more vigilant.
That's interesting. That's one of the theories I had, was that it was an inside job to try and keep Japan from leaving America. No prints found on the weapon. Yeah, he was bullshitting him, but he read the guy right. Oh, she was recording it too. Damn.
Oh, these guys.
Helen's like, shut the hell up, you little brat. Shut up. It's like friggin' freaking out. Some like power moves going on here. Her husband's great health, bull crap. Summer's not.
Rattling everyone's cage back there.
Summer's not doing so hot either. John's like, excuse me while I get the hell out of this room. Well, this is turning into a disaster. So what is John going to do about this? Does he have like lung cancer or something? That look. John's shitting bricks right now. It's just like, what the hell are we gonna do? That look from Himmler at the end, that's just like, that was hilarious. I wonder if the face stuff is from living in this place and there's like radiation or something, and it's like, or that's from something else. Yeah, it's talking about a nuclear attack.
After the war, they took.
Experiment alters the outcome of the experiment.
Schrodinger's cat.
Sounds like you agree with your Heisenberg. Is it true? Einstein himself called it spooky. It's not just the person that changes, it's what have you done? Well, careful out there, John. You might find out who you really are. Happy trails to you until we meet again.
This should be
General
interesting.
Whitcroft's been briefed that I'm on a covert mission. He doesn't know where.
Follow the signs and find your car parked outside the mine. Portal will be activated in exactly 48 hours.
Those freaking tape reels.
Zone for transit.
Good God.
Remember to wear them when you return.
So that's episode 4. Some really interesting stuff in this one. So Kido's confirmed that there was a conspiracy within the Japanese government to kill Tagomi and blame it on the BCR to try and, this is my hypothesis now, to try and influence the higher-ups that, So it's either one of two things. Either they did try and influence that, try and manipulate the higher-ups to thinking that they need to clamp down hard on these guys, so keep them there in San Francisco and strengthen their military presence, or they did it to try and persuade that it's no longer worth it to stay in the Americas and to pull back. Maybe to focus more on fighting China. It could be either. To be honest, since the military is involved, I'm going to say it's the latter. Maybe they believe that, well, then again, those military guys wanted to really crack down on the BCR, so I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see what happens with that. Julian has made it back to our timeline. Well, to the story's timeline, and is going to who knows what. We learned that the Nazis are using the man in the high castle to create propaganda to discredit himself, and that, like I was saying, Smith realizes that he can go to the alternate timeline, to the alt world as they call it. The whole dinner with Himmler turned into a raging catastrophe, raging catastrophe of epic proportions. Like Helen said, they're trying to build a case to try and get him either thrown out of the Reich or killed or something. Somebody's executing a power play basically to rise to Reich Marshal. This is also, I think, one of the first episodes. There's been a couple, I think, but this is the first one where they're really emphasizing that Himmler is not well. Regardless of all the propaganda about his health, he has some sort of lung disease, some sort of cancer or something that's affecting him pretty drastically. So it's, the story is still going. I'm not going to rate the individual episodes, but this is about as good as the last episode, which was about as good as the previous one. So the show hasn't let up at all, let's put it that way. Sometimes you got ebbs and flows, but it's usually in longer running seasons. Since this is a pretty short season, a lot of these things are now. The density that you get in the episodes is really helpful because you don't have a lot of dragging on and things. Like, for example, imagine Dragon Ball Z, where the arcs are restricted to being 10 episodes long. Imagine all the stuff they could have gotten in doing that over the same time span of running. Cut out all the filler stuff, all the long powering up scenes and stuff like that, and you get something more distilled and more succinct, like this kind of stuff. In other cases, it works against it too, because look at season 8 of Game of Thrones. I'm going to say something extremely controversial. There is nothing wrong with season 8. Season 8 is fine. The problem is they compressed the story so much that they didn't allow proper time for Daenerys to progress to where she ended up at. It happened much too quickly, and really triggered people because it happened that way. And if you're paying attention, you notice the signs as you're going along in the 7th and 8th season that, she's starting to have these kind of, madness of the Targaryens is starting to bloom in her, and then it comes out in full blown psychosis in the last episode. But it would have been much more received if they had, instead of doing 6 episodes or whatever they decided to do, actually done like a full 10 or 12 episodes, either extended or not. The problem is they didn't give it enough time to build properly, and that's the problem with season 8. It's nothing structural with the story; it's just the way that it was told. So this kind of format works, and it has its advantages and its disadvantages. In the case of Man in the High Castle and like The Expanse and some of the other shorter series like The Tick and Jack Ryan, the writing is done properly, and even the seasons before season 8 of Game of Thrones, the writing and stuff is done properly for the format. But you can easily end up in that situation. So, so far this season's doing pretty good though. We'll see how the next episodes go. So that's going to be it for this reaction. We'll do the next one sometime here pretty soon. Don't know when this will get uploaded. I'm thinking what I'm going to be doing is we're going to have maybe a reaction series, not just of this, but of like multiple episodes. And what I'll do is I'll have like a weekly schedule where on certain days I'll upload certain ones. And as a result, I think I'll need to wait a bit longer before I start uploading. Maybe I'll upload like episode 1 reaction sometime this week, maybe next week, and then after that I'll wait until I get some more series done, and then we'll be able to do that. The main problem is finding the time to do these. Got a lot of other things that I'm working on right now, so I'm trying to find time to do reaction videos, especially to hour-long things. Is a bit hard to jigger things around to make it work. So we'll see what happens. For sure, though, we're going to be doing this in The Expanse, Season 4. And 5 when it comes out. Not sure what other things we'll do. Maybe I'll do go back there and re-react to The Tick. Or react to it, even though I've watched it before. Some of the good series, and maybe some anime series and things like that, too. We'll see. I do eventually want to do Doctor Who, though, as well, so I'll figure out, we'll see where all this is going to go. But yeah, so if you've got any comments, questions, leave them below. If you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. If you click on the bell icon near the subscribe button, you'll be able to enable notifications, let you know when I'm streaming live or when I've uploaded new videos. We do have a Twitch channel, links in the description. I regularly stream over there, so if you're interested in live streams and things like that, that's there for you too. So, thanks, and I will see you next time.